Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back. Today, I want to tell you about Sarah. Sarah has a problem many people have. She needs to save money. She has only $50 for 1 week. Can she survive? This is her story. Listen carefully. I speak slowly. You will learn many useful words about money, shopping, and making good choices. It is Sunday evening. Sarah sits at her kitchen table. She opens her wallet. She counts her money. 10, 20, 30, 40, $50. That is all. Only $50. She looks at her bank account on her phone. Almost empty. She spends too much money this month. Coffee shops, restaurants, online shopping, small expenses every day. Now her account is almost zero. She feels worried. Payday is Friday. Today is Sunday. She needs to wait 7 days. 7 days with only $50. Sarah takes a piece of paper. She writes at the top, 1 week budget challenge. She needs a plan. Without a plan, she cannot succeed. She thinks about her expenses. What does she need? Food? That is the most important. Transportation? No, she walks to work. It takes 25 minutes, but it is free. Phone bill? Already paid. Rent? Paid. Electricity? Paid. Good. She only needs money for food. But $50 for 7 days? That is about $7 per day. Is that enough? Sarah feels nervous. She is not good with money. She usually spends without thinking. But now she must change. She must be careful. She must learn. She writes her goal. Survive 1 week with $50. Learn to save money. Become better with money. The challenge begins now. Sarah wakes up on Monday morning. Today, she starts her challenge. She feels determined. She drinks coffee at home. She makes it in her coffee maker. It costs almost nothing. Usually, she buys coffee at the cafe near her office. One coffee costs $5. Not today. She makes breakfast, toast with butter and jam. Simple but good. She already has these things at home. They cost $0 today. Before work, Sarah makes her lunch. She prepares a cheese sandwich. She adds an apple and some crackers. She puts everything in a lunchbox. This lunch costs about $2. If she buys lunch at work, it costs $10. She saves $8 already. Sarah feels proud. She walks to work, free, healthy, good. At work, her colleague Anna says, "Sarah, we go to the new restaurant for lunch. Come with us." Sarah wants to say yes, but she remembers her challenge. She smiles and says, "Thank you, Anna, but I bring my lunch today. Maybe another time." Anna looks surprised. Sarah never brings lunch. But Anna says, "Okay, no problem. Enjoy your lunch." At lunchtime, Sarah eats her sandwich at her desk. It tastes good. She feels happy. She makes a good choice. After work, Sarah goes home. She checks her money. She spends $0 today. She still has $50. Perfect start. She writes in her notebook, Monday, spent $0, remaining $50. Lesson, homemade food is cheaper, and I can do this. Tuesday morning, Sarah makes coffee at home again. Toast again. She is building a routine. She prepares lunch, leftover rice from last week. She adds vegetables. She makes fried rice. It looks delicious. At work, the morning goes well. But at 10 o'clock, Sarah feels tired. Usually she goes to the coffee shop during break. She buys an expensive coffee. Sweet, fancy, delicious. Today, she wants that coffee. She really wants it. She thinks, just one coffee? $5. I still have $50. But then she stops. She thinks, if I spend $5 today and $5 tomorrow and $5 every day, that is $35 for just coffee. That is too much. She makes a different choice. She makes instant coffee in the office kitchen. Free. It is not as good as the cafe coffee, but it works. It gives her energy. It costs nothing. Sarah feels strong. She says no to her old habit. This is progress. At lunch, her manager buys pizza for the team. Free pizza! Sarah is happy. She saves her homemade lunch for tomorrow. She eats pizza today. No money spent. After work, Sarah walks home. On the way, she passes her favorite bakery. The smell is wonderful. Fresh bread, sweet pastries. She stops. She looks at the window. A chocolate croissant. Her favorite. $3. Sarah stands there. She wants it. She deserves a treat. She works hard. But she remembers her goal. She takes a deep breath. She walks away. It is difficult, very difficult, but she does it. At home, she eats dinner. Pasta with tomato sauce. Simple, cheap. She already has these ingredients. She writes in her notebook, Tuesday, spent $0, remaining $50. Lesson, saying no is hard, but I am strong. I can resist temptation. Wednesday. Sarah wakes up and checks her refrigerator. Almost empty. She needs to buy groceries. She makes a shopping list. She thinks carefully. What foods are cheap but filling? Rice, beans, eggs, bread, bananas, carrots, onions, pasta. She looks at the list. These are basic foods, not exciting, but they are nutritious and cheap. After work, Sarah goes to the supermarket. She takes her list. She stays focused. She walks past the expensive items. Chocolate? No. Ice cream? No. Chips? No. Soda? No. Only items on her list. At the vegetable section, she chooses carefully. She picks the cheaper carrots, not the organic ones. Today, organic is too expensive. She buys store brand products, not name brands. Store brands are cheaper. They taste almost the same. At the checkout, the cashier scans her items. Sarah watches the screen. The numbers add up. $10, $15, $20, $25. Sarah feels nervous. Too much. She thinks, maybe I buy too much. The final total is $28. Sarah pays. She counts her remaining money. $22 left for 4 more days. She walks home carrying her grocery bags. They are heavy. She feels worried. Did she spend too much? Can she survive with $22 for 4 days? At home, she organizes her food. She plans her meals for the next 4 days. Breakfast, eggs and toast. Lunch, rice and beans. Dinner, pasta with vegetables. The same every day. Boring, but enough. She writes in her notebook. Wednesday. Spent $28. Remaining $22. Lesson. Planning meals helps. Shopping with a list helps. I spend too much, but I have food now. Thursday morning. Sarah makes eggs for breakfast. She makes her lunch, rice and beans. Not delicious, but filling. At work, her colleague Tom says, Sarah, I have too much food today. My wife packs too much. Do you want half of my sandwich? Sarah feels embarrassed. She doesn't want to seem poor, but the sandwich looks good, fresh, better than her rice and beans. She says, Are you sure you don't need it? Tom smiles. I am sure. Please, take it. I cannot finish everything. Sarah accepts. Thank you, Tom. That is very kind. At lunch, Sarah eats Tom's sandwich with her rice. She feels grateful. Sometimes people are kind. Sometimes help comes when you need it. In the afternoon, it is another colleague's birthday. The team shares cake. Free cake! Sarah eats a slice. Sweet. Delicious. It feels like a gift. After work, Sarah walks home. She stops at the library. Free entertainment. She borrows 2 books. She loves reading. This costs nothing. At home, she makes pasta for dinner. She adds carrots and onions. Simple, but good. She feels happy today. She spends $0. She still has $22. 3 more days. She can do this. But then her phone rings. Her friend Julia. Sarah, come out with us Friday night. We go to the new bar downtown. It will be fun. Sarah wants to say yes. She misses her friends, but the bar costs money. Drinks are expensive. She says, Julia, I cannot go this Friday. I save money this week. Next time, I promise. Julia says, Oh, okay, I understand. Good luck with saving. Sarah hangs up. She feels a little sad. She misses social activities, but she knows this is temporary. 1 week. She can do this. She writes in her notebook, Thursday, spent $0. Remaining $22. Lesson. People are kind. Saying no to friends is hard, but necessary. My goal is important. Friday morning. Sarah wakes up excited. Today is almost the end of the week. Tomorrow is payday. She makes her last eggs, her last toast. She is tired of the same breakfast. But it is okay. Tomorrow she can buy different food. She makes lunch, the last of her rice and beans. She looks at her food supplies. Almost finished. Perfect timing. At work, Sarah feels proud. She survives almost 1 week. Only $22 spent. She still has $22 left. Her manager comes to her desk. Sarah, thank you for your hard work this week. I buy lunch for you. What do you want? Sarah is surprised. Free lunch? She smiles. Really? Thank you so much. Can I have a chicken wrap? Her manager orders lunch for the team. Sarah eats her chicken wrap. Delicious. The best meal all week. And free. After work, Sarah goes home. She is tired but happy. She makes her last pasta dinner. Tomorrow, the challenge ends. She counts her money. $22. She keeps all of it. She doesn't spend $1 more. She writes in her notebook. Friday. Spent $0. Remaining $22. Lesson: almost finished. I am proud of myself. This week teaches me so much. Saturday morning. The challenge is over. Sarah's salary arrives in her bank account. She checks her phone. The money is there. She feels relieved. She also checks her wallet. Still $22. From $50, she spends only $28 in 1 week. She saves $22. Sarah thinks about the week. She learns many lessons. Lesson 1. Coffee shops cost too much. She spends $25 to $30 per week on fancy coffee. That is $100 per month. Crazy. Now she makes coffee at home. Cheaper, almost the same. Lesson 2. Cooking at home saves money. She usually orders food delivery 3 times per week. Each order costs $15 to $20. That is $60 per week. Too much. Home cooking is much cheaper. Lesson 3. Entertainment can be free. She borrows books from the library. She walks in the park. She doesn't need to spend money to enjoy life. Lesson 4. Saying no is difficult but important. She says no to restaurants, no to bakeries, no to bars. It is hard, but it is necessary. She learns control. Lesson 5. Planning helps. When she plans her meals, when she makes a shopping list, when she has a budget, everything is easier. No planning means no control. Lesson 6. People are kind. Her colleagues share food. Her manager buys lunch. Small acts of kindness help, and she wants to be kind to others too. Lesson 7. The difference between need and want. She needs food. She wants fancy coffee. She needs dinner. She wants restaurant meals. Understanding this difference is important. Sarah decides something. This week is not just a challenge. This week is a new beginning. She wants to continue. Not so strict, but smarter with money. She makes new rules for herself. Make coffee at home most days. Cafe coffee only once per week as a treat. Cook at home 5 days per week. Restaurant only twice per week maximum. Make a budget every month. Write all expenses. Save at least 20% of salary every month. Borrow books instead of buying them. Walk when possible. Save on transportation. She feels motivated. She feels in control. This challenge changes her. But today, she gives herself a small reward. She goes to her favorite cafe. She orders 1 fancy coffee. She sits there for 1 hour. She reads her library book. She enjoys every sip. This coffee is special. It is a celebration. She earned it. The coffee costs $5, but now she knows the real cost. Before, $5 is nothing. Now she knows $5 is 10 eggs, or 1 full meal, or half her daily budget from this week. She enjoys the coffee more than before, because now she understands its value. Sunday, 1 week after the challenge starts. Sarah feels different, stronger, wiser. She goes to the supermarket. She buys groceries. But this time, she is different. She checks prices. She compares options. She uses her list. She is smart. Her groceries cost $35, more than last week. But this time she buys better variety. Some fruit, some vegetables, some protein, and she still has money left over. At home, her neighbor, old Mr. Chen, knocks on her door. "Sarah, I am sorry to bother you, but do you have some sugar? I want to bake cookies, but I have no sugar." Sarah smiles. "Of course, Mr. Chen. Wait 1 moment." She gives him sugar. Mr. Chen thanks her. He says, "You are a good neighbor. Thank you." 1 hour later, Mr. Chen returns. He brings a plate of cookies. Fresh, warm, delicious. "For you," he says. "Thank you for the sugar." Sarah accepts the cookies. She thanks him. She thinks about her week. She learns about receiving help. Now she learns about giving help. That evening, Sarah makes a big pot of vegetable soup, the same recipe she makes during the week. But this time, she makes extra. She puts some soup in a container. She takes it to Mr. Chen. Mr. Chen, I make too much soup. Please, have some. Mr. Chen is happy. He accepts the soup. You are very kind, Sarah. Thank you. Sarah returns home. She feels warm inside. Sharing food, helping neighbors. This is important. Money is important, but kindness is more important. She thinks about the future. She wants to save money, but not because she is scared, because she wants financial peace. She wants freedom. She wants to help others when they need help. Monday morning, 1 week after the challenge starts, Sarah wakes up. She makes coffee at home, but today she doesn't feel sad about it. She chooses it. She wants it. She makes breakfast, eggs and toast. Simple. Good. Enough. She prepares lunch, but today she makes something more interesting. A sandwich with vegetables, an apple, some nuts. Still homemade, still cheap, but more variety. At work, Anna says, Sarah, we go to lunch today. Do you come? Sarah thinks she has money now. She can afford it, but does she want to spend it? She says, how much is the restaurant? Anna says, about $12 per person. Sarah calculates quickly. $12. That is almost half her weekly food budget from last week. That is a lot. She says, thank you, Anna, but I bring lunch today. I am trying to save money, but maybe Friday we can go to the cheaper cafe? Anna smiles. Good idea. Friday at the cafe. I also want to save money. Let's do it. Sarah feels good. She doesn't say no to everything. She plans. She chooses carefully. She controls her spending. At lunchtime, she eats her homemade sandwich. Tom sits next to her. Sarah, thank you for sharing your experience last week. I also want to save money. Can you give me advice? Sarah is surprised. Really? You want my advice? Yes, you do great last week. I see you bring lunch every day. You walk to work. You say no to expensive things. I want to learn. Sarah feels proud. She helps someone. She shares her knowledge. She says, first, make a budget. Write all your expenses. Second, make a plan for meals. Third, cook at home. Fourth, understand the difference between need and want. And fifth, be patient with yourself. Saving money is a process. Tom listens carefully. He writes notes. Thank you, Sarah. This is very helpful. Sarah smiles. 1 week ago, she is the one who needs help. Now she gives advice. She grows. She changes. This is Sarah's story. 1 week, $50, big lessons. Let me review the important vocabulary and phrases from this story. Money words: budget, save, spend, afford, expensive, cheap, cost, price, account, salary, payday. Action words: survive, plan, prepare, resist temptation, calculate, control, share, borrow. Useful phrases: I need to save money. I cannot afford it. How much does it cost? That is too expensive. I want to buy it, but I should not. I make a budget. I bring lunch from home. Maybe another time. Important lessons from Sarah's story. 1. Small expenses add up. $5 for coffee seems small, but $5 every day is $150 per month. Think about your small daily expenses. 2. Planning helps saving. When you plan meals, you spend less. When you shop with a list, you spend less. When you have a budget, you control your money. 3. Homemade is cheaper. Cooking at home costs less than restaurants. Coffee at home costs less than coffee shops. Simple but true. 4. Free activities exist. Library books, walking, parks. You don't need money for everything. 5. Saying no is a skill. You learn it, you practice it. It becomes easier. 6. Community helps. Share food, help neighbors, accept help, give help. We survive together. 7. Money is a tool. It is not everything. But managing it well gives you peace and freedom. Now, I want to ask you questions. Think about your answers. Do you make a budget? Do you know where your money goes? Do you cook at home or eat out? Do you have small daily expenses that add up? Can you save money if you need to? Think about these questions. Be honest with yourself. If you want to save money, start small. 1 week, like Sarah. Make it a challenge. Make it a game. Learn about yourself. Remember, saving money is not about suffering. It is not about never having fun. It is about making conscious choices. It is about understanding value. It is about control. Sarah learns that she can survive with less. She learns that simple food is enough. She learns that homemade is good. She learns that free things have value. She learns that she is stronger than she thinks. You can learn these things too. Thank you for listening to Sarah's story today. I hope you learned useful English words and phrases. I hope you also learned something about money and life. If this video helps you, please like it. Subscribe to our channel for more English stories with life lessons. Remember, every penny you save is a step toward freedom. Every small choice matters. Every day you practice control, you grow stronger. Until next time, be wise with money, be kind to yourself, be proud of small progress. Goodbye, my friends. Keep learning, keep growing, keep practicing your English and your life skills.